You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, YNR fans. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I want to talk about Claire Grace and Nikki Newman and how things have changed between them during the final showdown with Jordan Howard, Claire's crazy great aunt. To me, it looks like Claire is about to get a free pass, and that seems pretty hypocritical to me, given how the Newmans treat other family members that they don't like. So before we dive in, please click subscribe if you haven't already. And now let's talk about what went down this week on Young Restless and what's ahead. On the Tuesday episode, we saw the final Nikki versus Jordan battle at that old ratty fishing cabin. Nikki left her purse and the address behind and her flask, and that led Victor and Nick to head their way and send the police. In the meantime, at the cabin, Claire Grace was sedated, basically stuck in a wheelchair, out of it. Nikki showed up acting really drunk, but she was play acting to some extent, pretending to be drunk, slurring her speech just to lull Jordan into a false sense of security for what was coming next. And in the end, Nikki smashed her in the head with a bottle. Then they had this very physical brawl that I thought was very well done. And then Claire kind of started waking up. She got hold of Jordan's gun and held her great aunt at gunpoint while the police came. Nikki assured Claire when Jordan was trying to get her to shoot Nikki that the Newmans would all come to love her. And then the cops arrived to arrest Jordan, and Grandma Nikki and granddaughter Claire had this sweet hug. They had a bonding moment. Nick and Victor show up, and Victor said they owe Claire a debt of gratitude. And by the end of the episode, Nikki was petting Claire's hair and reassuring her. That all seems very sweet, but the instant redemption and forgiveness that Claire seems to be getting kind of rubs me the wrong way. Here's why. Nikki, Nick, and Victoria have all been horrible to Adam for the past year. Yes, he's done bad things in the past, but that was a while back. And I'm sure you can recall that all the other Newmans have done bad things too. All of them. They are either law-breaking or family torturing. They're cheating liars. They do bad deeds now and then. They all do. Victor, Nikki, Victoria, Nick, all of them. And yes, Adam has done bad things to them, but they've also done bad things to him. And over the past year, Adam literally saved Faith Newman's life twice. He has been behaving and acting like he's redeemed. In his mind, he was kind of plotting when he came back to work at Newman Enterprises and said he didn't really mean that he was going to work from the bottom up, but he didn't do anything. And actions speak louder than words to me. So I was kind of hoping that Claire Grace turning up as a bad Newman would finally have Nikki and Victoria see that they've been kind of judgy and extreme when it comes to how they treat Adam. I mean, he's been trying really hard and all they've done is just pile on. They've blamed him for everything from, missing staples to global warming to PMS. Just, it's ridiculous. And Victoria even told Victor at one point this past year to cut Adam out of his life completely. And Victor adamantly refused and is like, that's my son, And then now we've got Claire, who put her grandma Nikki on a vodka IV and wrecked years of sobriety. And then she gets an instant pass because she saved Nikki's life. Well, Nikki wouldn't have been in that position to start with had Claire not been doing what she was doing with Jordan. And if saving lives is the barometer of how you should treat people, why didn't Adam Newman get an instant forgiveness and redemption pass when he saved Faith Newman twice? Once by giving up an organ that they could transplant into her, even though he risked arrest to do it, and he was arrested. He still came back to do it. Will Nikki and Victoria keep crapping on Adam like they usually do, or will they ease up and give him some breathing room now that this Claire thing happened? I mean, at least they could back off and take more of a wait and see attitude and see how he behaves. They could be civil until he crosses a line, if he crosses a line. But now, with how they wrapped up this Jordan and Claire storyline, I suspect things might stay the same for Adam or even get worse, However, I will also say I am encouraged by an interview that I watched with Haley Aaron, who plays Claire Grace. She had chatted with Michael Fairman a few weeks, maybe a month ago, and she talked about that she thought Claire and her uncle, Adam Newman, could be interesting interacting with each other. Haley Aaron said she really hopes that Claire and Adam become friends because neither has really any friends in Genoa City, and she thinks that they could be great pals. So if Nikki just abruptly drops the whole Claire is bad thing, I think, to me, that confirms that she is a hypocrite when it comes to her children versus Victor's children. After all, Nikki knows that Victor loves Adam and wants his son in his life, but that's not her son, and she never lets up or shuts up with her constant criticism of his son. Meanwhile, Nikki forgives, excuses, and enables things that Victoria and Nick do because those are her children. And let's be real, Nikki's not a fan of Abby Newman either, Victor's other side kid. Remember the whole thing with Nikki and Abby both sleeping with, was it Arturo? I mean, that was so creepy. Basically, to me, it feels like Nikki only has concern for her biological spawn and the grand spawn that they spawn. That's what I think. Because Claire is Victoria's kid, I think she is presumed innocent and has the option to be forgiven for literally anything. Let's don't forget, Claire poisoned the whole family. I mean, thankfully, she gave them the antidote at the last minute, but Claire was kind of on the fence about doing it. She was still waffling. Then she finally handed it over. So yeah, she poisoned them, but then cured them. Claire lied to Nikki. She tricked her. She kidnapped her and then hooked her up to a Smirnoff vodka IV. So this is just messy, but they're totally chill with her now. I suspect at this point, the Newmans might even use their influence to get Claire out of the psych hospital, maybe have her back to the ranch, get her into outpatient therapy so she can continue her healing. And I'm not saying that Claire is a dyed-in-the-wool villain. You know, for 20 some odd years, she was raised by a sociopath who taught her to hate, who taught her bad things like that. But what I'm saying is that the bad that she's done and then the bad that Adam has done, I think Adam has done more bad, but Claire got off to a really early start. By her age, he hadn't done that much bad. And I just think that they're being judged by different rulers in a way, different benchmarks. So let me know what you guys think. Is it insane that Nikki instantly forgave Claire and that Victor thanked her? Do you think Nikki is being much easier on Claire than she should be, especially compared to how she judges and treats her stepson, Adam? Drop your comments below. Be sure to click subscribe if you haven't already, and come back soon for more Young and the Restless spoilers and news. This is Belinda from Soap Dirt, and as always, we're here talking Y&R 7 days a week. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.